Good morning, good morning. We are in the tarot study of the Hermit. That's the original Rider-Waite, Wildwood Tarot, Tarot of the Abyss, Star Tarot, Wandering Star Tarot, Winter Tarot, Mystical Moments Tarot, Tarot of the Divine, and today's new card is the Good Tarot. This is by Colette Baron Reed. The door, the key, the face in the door. Which reminds me, wasn't there like a movie or something where like you went up and you to knock on the door and then the door, like the door knocker turned into a face, or the door had the face and then asked like, I don't know, why are you here or something? I don't remember. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't know. All right. So today's book, Tarot for Change. This is the inside. The Hermit. One of the most amazing things for me during the process of researching and writing this book was finding confirmation of what I perceived in my early days of studying tarot, that the secrets tucked into these cards radiate the wisdoms of both ancient philosophies and contemporary evidence-based therapies, and that while they are important distinctions, there are also real philosophical overlaps between philosophies of the ancient Egyptians and Greeks, the Catholicism and that I grew up with, the Taoism and Buddhism that I become curious about as a teenager, and the psychotherapy models that I trained in during graduate school. The ninth major secret, the Hermit, is often interpreted as relating to the peace and prudence that come from walking what Buddhists call the middle path. In the words of Buddhist monk Ahan Ka, you see both sides, so you have peace. If you only see one side, there is suffering. Once you see both sides, then you follow the middle way. Amen. This is the right practice of the mind. This is what we call straightening out our understanding. Nice. The lesson of the Hermit, the spiritual aspirant, is learning to dwell inside liminal space between extremes. Because poles are illusionary by nature and breed suffering. The Christian version of a middle way might be the middle point that's formed by the two lines of the crucifix, which brings together cerebral intellectuality and spontaneous spirituality, and dialectical behavior therapy. It might be the wise mind, space where our emotional and rational minds link, and we can draw a bit from each to formulate our knowing, because too much knowledge or too much emotion creates distorted understanding and thereby suffering. And in Western esotericism, Hermeticism, specifically, the middle way is the ideal of the totality of things, where nothing is black or white, this or that, all seeming opposites of identical in nature, different only in degree. Though behavioral scientists might be reluctant to associate themselves with the Western mystery traditions, both the ideals of the Hermit and the DBT therapist aim to walk the peaceful path between the worlds, a space that surpasses the limited paradigm of either or and moves into the world of both and. The therapist who asks, can both of those things be true at once, is activating the Hermit archetype, whether they're doing so consciously or not. Both the Hermit and the practitioner of DBT understand that peace is not available in the land of opposites. To the extent that we see things in terms of this or that, black or white, him or her, above or below, or within or without, peace evades us. Coming to this understanding is the aim of the Fool's journey toward the world, just as it is that the person learning to overcome what's called all or nothing or black and white thinking and therapy, whether we're digging into ancient Buddhist text or DBT manual, we are let in on the secret that peace exists in the middle way, in a state of wise mind, in the synthesis of opposites. The anonymous author of Meditations on the Tarot wrote of the Hermit. It is the heart which is, I don't know, I'm getting the telephone voice or something, which is simultaneously active and contemplative. Untiringly and unceasingly it walks. It walks day and night, and we listen day and night to the steps of the incessant walking. This is why, if we want to represent a man who lives in the law of the heart, who is centered in the heart and is visible expression of the heart, the wise and good father or the hermit, we present him as walking steadily and without haste. Many years later, psychologist and founder of DBT, Marcia Leinen, wrote on the state of the wise mind. The aim of her therapy, Wise Mind, is that part of each person that can know and experience truth has a certain peace. Wise mind is like having a heart. Everyone has one, whether they experience it or not. Just as the world in tarot isn't a fixed place, but rather a flux state that no one comes in and out of through time, the peaceful mind, the peaceful middle way, isn't a static place or destination. It's not the type of place where you arrive, stay, or hold residence. There, too, it is yet another temptation to impose oppositional thinking. I am either there, or I am there, or I am not there, healed or still broken. This is why in many decks the hermit is pictured walking. A metaphor for the way of a person who is at peace with the flux state of reality. That is changing and being stuck, expanding and contracting, evolving and devolving, living and dying. I don't think he's walking. Sorry. If he takes a step, doesn't he look like he's on like a nugget in the mountains, where if he was to step off, he's just kind of standing there looking over the edge, going, contemplating like, well, shit, how do I get down there? But that is the whole reason why we read all these books, is to give us different perspectives. Maybe he is, but he's technically on a walk, right? He's obviously, he can't be living there on that little nugget of a mountain. So he's on a walk. There's just no motion in his, I don't see any movement. And I know that that's like, what's that phrase? Splitting hairs, but still. I was going to see if there's one of these that has like, now she looks like she's in a little bit of emotion. See, that back foot is up. That back heel is up there. And there's definitely no motion going on there. Okay, so there's that. No more splitting hairs. Tarot for change. And, oh wait. And there's the tarot card of the day. The good tarot. So, very interesting too, though, that we've got, it feels very opposites. You've got talking about motion and movement, very closed off, very like, you're not welcome here kind of vibes kind of thing. I'm like, this is like, it doesn't feel like any movement. This feels like hiding. So it's just interesting. Those two came together today. All right. Much love. See you tomorrow. Thank you for being my study buddy.